behind us. So the hunt begins.
Actually, speaking of, I'm gonna go get my go give him a bottle because I think that's the next step. So sorry, guys, give me a second.
It's all good.
That's fine. I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to use as a video background now that I can have a video background.
Aurora Borealis.
Oh my god, I just saw it.
May I see it? No.
Is this like a Kingdom Hearts thing going on, Lucas?
No, I'm
That's
quoting.
What it reminds me of.
I'm quoting that Simpsons meme from like 4 years ago with Skinner and the principal or the superintendent have lunch together and steamed hams. That was it.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord, what is happening in there? Aurora Borealis? At this time of day, in this part of the country, located entirely in your kitchen. Yes? May I see it? No.
Alrighty then.
Don't act like you don't do the same thing. Steve, you just noticed that? You just noticed that, Steve? Come on, bro. Eugene, I am digging. I feel I'm vibing with you. Mm-hmm. Together, we represent the complete Splatoon timeline from Primate.
Exactly.
You're going to see all of them in Splatoon 3.
I love that squid hat, by the way. I love how the eyes... It looks like something you'd see in Invader's Zim. Like it's colored. The eyes don't match. It's perfect.
I like it's a good hat. Good investment.
I want one of the sleep masks that has the googly eyes.
All it's
and
missing,
the googly eyes actually move.
All it's missing is built-in hand slippers.
Yeah, damn, that's right. It could have mittens.
That would be
Anyways, let's sync up if we could. So I'm gonna count down right now in 3, 2, 1. Cranky Kong, where you at?
729. I'm calling it. I'm owning it.
All right. Dixie Kong, where you at?
Oh, I hate you now.
738.
That's my favorite Kong. You stole it, Gentis.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
When have I ever called him Gentis?
You've never called me Gentis.
Ladies and gentlemen, this will be my last episode of Infendo Radios. Apparently, I am not going to be alive much longer.
Funky Kong, where you at?
I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing. I believe it was 3:15.
I got the
Infendo
worst
Radio
one.
now with funky mode.
I got the worst one.
Right. Then I think we're ready to rock and roll. Let me just put a note here that shows starts. You owned it though, so.
I owned it. I'll take it and run with it. I beat this podcast in 1 hour, and I only used a single life. So, you know.
All right, here we go. Here comes your monkeys. Here comes your balls.
Are you a member of our Discord yet? You should be, because that's where you ask your questions for the question block segment now. Get there through infendo.com.
We put the we in wiener. Infendo Radio is on now.
Hello, everybody.
We.
Boys and girls, members of the human race. Welcome to Infendo Radio, episode 617. Steve is nodding yes. Steve's here. You remember Steve, member of the show, like 3 years, left the show mysteriously. We had a huge falling out. He hates us now. Guest starred on the show like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, that's the one. Steve, buddy, how you doing tonight? Where can the people find you?
It's been at least 4 weeks.
Yeah,
and you can find me in the same place as ever. My link tree, linktr.ee/Gentis. You know you missed that. Come on.
Well, I've missed it. Eugene, what have you been missing, and where can the people find you?
Go to Infendo.com. I've been missing for a long time. Sanity, everything, sleep, you name it. It's gone. I can't find it. But yeah, just find me at Infendo.com. If you're feeling squirrely, you can follow at Infendo Eugene on Twitter, but you ain't going to find much.
Don't have kids is the lesson there. Justin, my friend, how are you, and where can the people find you?
I am doing okay considering a lot of kind of family crises going on, but the dust seems to be settling on that. You can find me on Twitter at InfendoJustin. You can also go to thedisneyparkbench.com. I have a finger somewhere. There it is. Go to thedisneyparkbench.com and see all of my Disney stuff there. Been a busy month between the anniversary and Halloween. Lots of stuff up there, including if you want a preview of the video game review I'm going to be posting on Infendo soon.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we have a packed show for you tonight. We have got some pretty big news that I think a lot of people are talking about right now that we're like 5 days late on because we do this show on a Thursday. So we're going to start with that. I know Steve is here particularly because he has a review that he has been dying to get out. And we will be talking about the games we've been playing. So we got all that planned. But first, let's talk about the news of the week, which I don't think we've really talked about that much in private even. Animal Crossing, guys. We had a big old huge like 20-minute direct, and it had a lot of stuff in it. Now, I don't know if any of us are still actively playing this game, but I want to say at one point at least all four of us had played this game.
And some of us have recently gotten back into this game.
Yeah, I've seen a few more people playing it since the announcement too.
Same.
So let's kind of go over, I guess, let me give you the basics, and then if you guys want to get into the nitty-gritty, we can do that. But a lot was announced, right? I think the biggest news is that, well, I guess there were two big pieces of news. One is that if you choose to opt into it for either $30 or by already opting into the Nintendo Online expansion plan, you get basically Happy Home Designer 2.0, where you can go to another island and decorate a whole, like, scenic getaway for all your little favorites and everything. Apparently there's a lot of decorating options, tools, that kind of stuff that are going to be unlockable in that mode that you can then bring back to your main mode. Some things that stood out to me is you can make wall partitions, you can put wallpaper on one part of your house, there's like soundscapes, lighting you can do, you can now crawl in between furniture, which is really useful if you have a lot of like packed stuff. A lot of decorating options. I think they actually, unless it was completely clickbait, I think I saw somewhere that they're actually going to be using like 13 new villagers too that have like never been seen before. So that's
there are definitely some new ones and some returning ones.
Oh, that's good. I saw a robot octopus. I like the robot villager.
Yes,
cool.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of the robots. So that was kind of big. The other thing that I was really excited for is they're bringing back animals visiting you, right? Your neighbors can say, hey, let's hook up at 7 and hang out at your place. And that was always one of my favorite features in the old game. So that's something that's coming back.
You can Netflix and chill with your Animal Crossing villagers.
Exactly. Totally innocent. What's the worst that could happen? There's places to go shopping. It looked like that was mostly to kind of alleviate the pressure of like weekly events and that kind of stuff. So like you can go shop from Crazy Red. Tortimer appears to be back. Cap'n is the one that brings you there.
I'm excited about.
The alpacas are going to be offering customization options. Gyroids are making a return, but the way you do them is kind of weird. I always love the gyroids. I love collecting gyroids. But you dig them up and you get like shards, and then you plant the shards.
Yeah, I saw that. That's kind of weird.
The shards grow into gyroids, but the cool thing is then you can customize the gyroid. So like a dingoid doesn't have to be like blue anymore. It can be like blue or purple or pink or green or whatever, that kind of thing. So,
you are speaking Greek.
Yeah, well, welcome to every time we talk about Star Wars.
The only word that I understood was gyroid, and that was from the trailer.
So that was...
I never really understood gyroids. I just remember having a room full of them at one point in New Leaf.
Well, there were two things about gyroids that were kind of exciting, especially back in the day, because back in the old Animal Crossing games, you could have like 20 gyroids in a room. Now you can only do like 4, although it looked like you can do more in this one. Collectability obviously was a big factor for people. That's a big part of like any Animal Crossing item. But then if you put enough of them in your house, they could also kind of make music because they all kind of play their own thing and they harmonize on the beat and stuff.
That's what I remember about the gyroids is the music, yeah.
Yeah, so in the old like N64 GameCube era games, you could actually like put like a bunch of them in your house and have them like boing a ding doing ba ding doing doing boing a ding doing, you know, that kind of stuff. Now in New Leaf, it's just kind of like they were decorations. But no, it looked like those are kind of coming back like that. Oh, and they're doing, speaking of the GameCube version, they're doing morning aerobics, which was something from the original game, too. So that's kind of cool to see. You can actually, like, put your character out and, like, stretch and do little dances and stuff and visit with all your villagers.
With motion controls, even.
Yeah, they said you could do it with motion control, but you don't have to. You can do button, too,
Right.
if you're a sit-down gamer.
I guess that's kind of cool,
sure
though.
All of us are probably. So I mean, the reason that I'm bringing this up, like I said, I know this isn't really any of our games at the moment, but it is kind of the game on the Switch, right? Like next to Breath of the Wild, this is one of the best-selling games of all time for Nintendo. So what are our thoughts? What are our feelings? What are our takeaways?
I mean, I'm pretty excited for it. It's kind of given me a reason to boot up the game again. So of course I'm doing my daily routines again, and I'm really excited that Cappen's back, because that was one of my favorite things in New Leaf, was to, hitch a ride on the boat with Cappen and be serenaded with his sea chanties and go to a mysterious island to find stuff I couldn't find elsewhere. That was always good fun for me. So I'm excited that's back.
So I'm obviously upgrading to the family plan, so I'll get the DLC with it. It'll be something I definitely give a try. I'm curious to see if I stay with the game. Lucas, one of the things that you didn't mention, cooking and farming. And anybody that's ever played Minecraft with me knows that farming is kind of my thing.
Yeah.
So I could easily see myself getting into this game, at least for, another 15, 20 hours.
So this is a weird one, because it doesn't really serve a purpose beyond eating food in Animal Crossing anyway, right? Which in this game is breaking rocks easier, knocking down trees in one hit, that kind of stuff. Or digging up trees, I guess, actually was the big thing. But there's a lot of, like, if you're a cutesy kind of player who... Okay, so let me just back up here and say, I feel like this whole update really focuses on the design-oriented person, which I think is what Animal Crossing has done this generation anyway. It's kind of taken like a weird Sims approach to the game, where I always felt like there was a split in Animal Crossing between the me kind of people who like to play it for like talking to their villagers and interacting with them, and like doing holidays and stuff, and the apparently majority of players who really like decorating their houses and decorating their towns and that kind of stuff. This is a decorating game. So if you were a happy home designer fan, I feel like all of the stuff in this update is perfect for you. So like the cooking, you can cook things and eat things, and that doesn't really do you anything, but you can now decorate your house in like little steaks and stews and any food you can imagine kind of stuff.
One of the things that kind of came out on the because of the pandemic, a lot of your podcasters, your YouTubers, your influencers started doing these digital shows where their screen would be like they had a set in their house. One of the rooms in their house was a set, and they would do their talk shows with that, and they would have people get into their island and do that. I could easily see the food, you can do Thanksgiving meal with your family,
cooking
a
show.
Christmas meal. If you've got family in different states that can't get together, you can get a bunch of people together virtually and on a Zoom call, and that's kind of cool. Not something I would ever do, but for the people that do like to do that kind of stuff, that's pretty cool.
It's not... This game, like a lot of, I feel like, first-party Nintendo games this generation, this game has kind of lost me a little bit. Like, I enjoyed it for a while. I realized what I was enjoying was, like, the grind from getting the Nook Miles and stuff. And then once I got through with the concert, it was kind of like, I've experienced this game. This game does not have the holding power on me that New Leaf had, which I really resent, because I really liked New Leaf, and I was waiting for years for a new Animal Crossing, but this is not really my Animal Crossing. I'm happy for the people that are really excited for the new content. I don't know that this is going to get me to boot up the game. Like, I don't know that I'm that interested, I don't think it... From what I've seen, I don't think it really fixes the core problems I had with it, because I think the problems I have with the game are really at the core of the game. They're not things that can be fixed just by having, like, my animals want to come visit me. It's like, that doesn't matter if when they come to visit me, they still have the same 3 lines of dialogue that they've had for the last, so... I don't know. I'll be curious to see what people say about it. I don't know that it's a me update. But like I said, that's okay. I've got like 20 other games to play. Eugene, any thoughts?
I kind of had my time with Animal Crossing. You know, I got my island to like the highest star level or whatever thing, and that was it. Like I was like, cool, I'm done with this game. I beat it.
So
I don't think I ever got my island to 5 stars.
I didn't.
So do you play, Eugene, other Animal Crossing games that way too, or did you have kind of the same experience as me, where it was like, I played it, I liked it, I'm done with it, kind of thing? Like did you played old Animal Crossings, right? Were they more of like an all the time, like I'll jump in like once every month just to check on my town kind of thing? Or
Yeah, I never actually played a game like Animal Crossing like just like forever. I know people like did that, like played for years and years and years, but I never really played a game, Animal Crossing that way. Quite honestly, I never felt like I was the right type of gamer for Animal Crossing, because I always put like, I don't know, like 40 hours here, maybe 60 hours into the game on like the Wii one. I think is the one I think I put the most time into. But you know, it just kind of, there just wasn't enough there to keep me there. Yeah. Number one, I'm task oriented, so I have to have like something to do, and that's what actually why I liked this Animal Crossing.
That was what hooked me at the beginning.
But then after I did the tasks, I was like, guess I'm done. So
see, I loved in New Leaf, like waking up every day and talking to all my villagers. It felt like for years they had new things to say. I wasn't getting like the same old dialogue rungs anymore. You know, holidays would come up and I'd get really excited to celebrate those and get all the like exclusive gear and stuff. There's just something about New Horizons in particular that doesn't grab me that same way, you know? And I still, like, I think I've done as good a job as I can about clarifying what that is, but I still don't know exactly what it is about this game that just didn't quite keep me, you know?
For me, I mean, this was probably my favorite Animal Crossing, but, like, I don't think I'm not there for an Animal Crossing to just like play it forever. Like I don't want to put 400 hours into an Animal Crossing game personally, you know? So like I got my fun out of it.
I didn't either, but you know, I think I'm getting close.
I was disappointed because the only reason I stopped playing it was because I did my island on my Switch Lite. My Switch Lite got Joy-Con drift last September. Oh, no. So I had to send it in. So I didn't get it back till like the middle of the second week in October. And I'm like, I never picked it up.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to try again because I think I would enjoy it. I was enjoying it.
Well, I'll be curious to hear what you guys have to say, because I have built myself an impressive little town in New Horizons. Like that was kind of my second, my renaissance with this game was like, I'm going to build a freaking city. And I built a freaking city. So like I have a nice town in Animal Crossing, you know. I would if I felt like I could go back to it and really enjoy it, I probably would. It would be a fun thing to just like 10 minutes every morning, you know, go visit all my neighbors kind of stuff. So
and see, I wasn't ever really happy with my town. I just did the things to like check the boxes basically, you know. It's like, okay, I need more, I don't know, trees to get my level higher or whatever, or less of this. So I just did what the algorithm told me basically, you know.
Yeah, so this is something I want to touch on, because this was I know this just became a vent session for New Horizons for me, so I apologize. But I did really like that in New Leaf, it was a very meditative, personal experience where it was like, this is my little town. I don't have to decorate it. No one's going to see it. I can do what I want and live with my villagers and be really chill and happy. And then with New Horizons, it felt a lot more like, this is my town and it has to be Twitter perfect so I can glow up and, you know, have everybody love what I'm doing. You know, it was a much more social game, and that was in Japanese. I think that the title of the game is something like Animal Crossing Connect or Let's Hook Up, or I don't remember, but something like that. It had like a social implication. So obviously the goal here was to, you know, meet with other people, connect together. Like even in the first trailer, they had like 8 people running across the beach together. You know, that was the premise of the game. And I like a nice solitary, like it's me and my villagers just living our best lives kind of thing, you know? So maybe that's part of where my issue with this one is. It's much more of I think it's more fun if you have people to play it with, and I really never had that. So it's like, who cares that my town is all pretty, you know? Who's going to see that, you know? Yeah. right, well, any other thoughts about the actual news before we break and then go to change the system?
Not for me.
Nope.
I'm excited about change the system, so.
All right, well, then I guess we will take a quick break and be right back with all that stuff we're so excited for. Should be a pretty freaking full change the system, too.
Oh, our one current live viewer. We love you though. Still love you.
I wonder if I'm counted
wait.
as a live viewer. I got the chat open.
That's
wait.
depressing, Steve.
Oh wait, don't say that, Steve. Yeah, we have
Well,
like.
I mean, I was hoping to have someone pop
There it
in
is.
so I could chat with them.
Okay.
You know, Steve, we had like 10 people the other week when you were gone. So
I know. What the
I'm
hell?
thinking the problem may be you.
Peace.
Okay, let's do it. Let's start some new music. Let's start a.
Jeez.
You know what you didn't have last week though, Lucas? That's
You.
Steven.
That is true. God, it feels like a full show again.
I'm trying to find the people. Hold on. I guess it'll be Lucas.
This is a
time.
happy song.
This is the
enjoying
enjoying
to
this
resync,
100% pre-recorded episode
What's
of Infendo Radio.
Do we
You'll
need to
absolutely
resync?
love the live.
Oh yeah, thanks, Steve.
Head on
I
over to
actually do need to resync.
twitch.tv/Infendo Radio Thursday
Slippy
nights
here.
at 9:30 Eastern.
Oh, Eugene, you're muted.
Oh, I'm muted. It doesn't matter who claps, but if we can clap in 3, 2, 1.
A boom, 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 man, a wiki, wham.
Lucas, I'm going to ask you where your time is since you gave me your 34. Your time earlier,
He's
and I
like 10
appreciate
seconds ahead or 10 seconds behind me.
You can always count on me to have the longest attention span, even if it's not that long.
that. All right, well then let's do it. Put a note here.
Scuba dabba, scuba dabba.
Hey, Justin, Swoled.
And away we go.
Swoled. I do love me a swoled. Enjoying this 100% pre-recorded episode of Infendo Radio? You'll absolutely love the live stream. Head on over to twitch.tv/Infendo Radio Thursday nights at 9:30 Eastern, 7:30 Who Gives a Crap time. Welcome back to Infendo Radio. Full house, full show. Open hearts can't lose. We have changed the system for you guys. If you're new to the show, that's a little weird because this is episode 617. But if you are new to the show, this is the part of the show where we talk about the games we've been playing. It's our favorite part because we get to talk about ourselves and all the things we've accomplished. I understand that Justin has a pretty packed show for us tonight, so we're going to start with him so we can promptly cut him off when it inevitably runs. Justin, what have you been up to?
I suppose that's fair. All right. Well, So, let's see, where do I start?
No pressure.
Well, all right. So, I've committed a fashion faux pas. I've been wearing white after Labor Day. Specifically
right now.
Specifically this lovely white Oculus Quest 2, which I bought used off of Facebook Marketplace because we've had a Oculus Quest in the house for almost 2 years now, and I very rarely see it or get to do anything with it. So I finally decided I'm just going to break down and buy myself whatever cheap used Oculus Quest I can find on eBay or Marketplace or something, and that will be mine and exclusively mine. So now I have an Oculus 2. I've played a little bit of Beat Saber on it. I had to hack and customize everything, and my playlists are all screwed up, so I'm gonna have to redo all that. I did finally play through Super Hot VR. I got farther in that than I've ever gotten before, and I'm eager to start doing some of the stuff with it that I've been dying to do for years but haven't been able to because the kids always have it and are ruining it.
Is the upgrade worth it?
I think so. So as far as I know, it's definitely lighter and a little bit smaller. So that's nice. And I guess these screens are higher resolution. Since I haven't used the other one in so long, it's kind of hard for me to tell, but I mean, it looks nice. It works well. Like I said, I've played it a few times since I got it, and I'm just happy that the one that I got happened to be the upgraded model, because they're gonna get the upgraded model for Christmas from somebody else, so now I don't have to feel like, oh good, I get the hand-me-downs. Nope, I've got my own, thank you very much. I did get Tetris Effect, I think is what it's called, for the Oculus. I have not played it yet, but I'm eager to try it, despite Steve's insistence that I get it for another system.
Well, hopefully you have a better experience with it on VR than I did on PSVR, because yikes. But you've got a higher resolution system, so you should.
Well, hopefully. I don't know why it exists in VR, but it was $10 cheaper for VR than it was for the Switch, and I already have a Tetris for the Switch. So, speaking of things for the Switch, so this is a story all about how my Switch got scratched while upside down. It'll only take a minute, so please sit tight, and I'll tell you how a local GameStop made everything all right.
Wow. I am impressed. That was well done.
Definitely wrote that ahead of time.
No ruined segue here. All right, so speaking of getting white things, why does that sound wrong? I got myself my fancy Switch OLED. I'm very, very happy with it. The screen is beautiful. If you have one, I have a recommendation for you, and I'm going to put this on Twitter because I keep forgetting to mention it. When I first got it, the colors seemed incredibly blown out, and it was really bright and beautiful, but also the reds were just blazing. So I found out that if you go into the system settings under system, there is a setting for, let me see where I can find it here, console screen colors. By default, that's set to vivid. I changed it to standard, and I'm much happier with how it looks. It doesn't look nearly as just eye blazing bright. But that's a personal preference. Definitely, everything just looks better. I used to have the hardest time seeing what I was doing in Mortal Kombat 11. I don't have that problem anymore. I can confirm after using it that the Switch OLED will work with at least the, I think it's pronounced OIVO, O-I-V-O, the strap-on VR headset for the Switch. It definitely works with that and looks fantastic. So, if you do any of the Switch Labo VR stuff, you don't have to worry about losing that functionality. Unfortunately, it no longer fits in my grip thing. I did find one that was recommended, made by Skull and Co. You know, the company that makes the earphones.
I've heard
they
good
make
things about their stuff.
Yeah, they make a grip for the OLED that I am waiting. I've already ordered. I'm waiting for it to arrive, so I'll give my impressions on that when it comes. And also, it is not compatible with the flip grip. Supposedly, the creator of the flip grip, I'm guessing, is working on that. He tweeted about it not fitting and said more news to come. So hopefully by the end of the year we'll hear something about that, because that's definitely a functionality that I'm really missing. On the plus side, because the kickstand is so much bigger, you can like fold it out and set it on like a table. But so I had a story to tell. I got mine day after release, dropped off on my porch from, FedEx or whoever. Actually, originally it was supposed to arrive like 2 weeks later. And I guess, GameStop expedited it because I got it FedEx on the day after it came out. I opened it that night. I plugged it in, set it, face down on a flat surface. Picked it up the next night to try and set it up, and there was a huge scratch right along the front, like along the right side of the screen, right in the middle of the right side of the screen. I'm like, this is not going to fly. Like, I can see this. This is not making me happy. So I called Nintendo and said, look, I just got this thing. I haven't even set it up. I haven't played it. I haven't done anything with it. I plugged it in, set it down, picked it up, and it was scratched. I don't know if it was scratched before it came out of the box, but I didn't do anything to it that could have scratched it. So, this thing's brand new. Can I get this repaired or replaced? And they're like, well, since it's physical damage, it's going to cost you $150 to get replaced, and we'll send you a box. You send it to us, we'll send it back, and it'll take about 2-3 weeks. I said, are you kidding me? I just got this thing. I haven't used it yet, and you're telling me I have to pay $150 to fix it and not be able to play it for the next few weeks? And they said, well, we can give you a $25 discount since you're a longtime customer. Like, let me call GameStop and I'll get back to you. So I called GameStop, expecting the usual BS. They said, yeah, that really sucks. We will definitely replace that for you. I'm like, great. They said, except we don't have any. Said, what we'll do is we'll keep track of the stock. They said, we get them in, but then they have to be shipped out to other people who've ordered them. They get shipped to the stores, but they can get picked up by customers or shipped out to other people who've ordered them. Said, so, we'll let you know when one comes in and we'll send it to you. But they said the only problem is if it doesn't happen until after your 30-day warranty period, we might be in trouble. So I waited a couple of days. I called all the local GameStops. I said, nope, we don't have any. I said, can you take my name and let me know when you get one? They're like, well, we're really not supposed to do that, but under the circumstances, if we have an extra, we'll let you know. After a couple of days of not getting any confirmation, I decided, all right, I'm just going to set this thing up and try using it. And then I got the call. They're like, hey, we got one in. I said, can you hold it for me until tomorrow? They said, yeah, we'll hold it for you till tomorrow. Then I got a call from another local GameStop who told me the same thing. So to bring the story to a close, I brought it to the nearest GameStop. They switched it out for me. I immediately brought it home and put the screen protector on it, and I've been using it and loving it ever since. So I'll give more impressions on this next week, but my quick and dirty review of the Switch OLED is if you're the slightest bit curious about upgrading your Switch and the improved picture and everything, get it, because the screen on this thing is beautiful, and it's great for playing at night in bed.
All right.
Well, nice. I'm glad you're enjoying it, and I'm glad that it all worked out. Did you have any games in particular that you wanted to talk about before we pass the mic?
It sounds like you don't have any time to play any games, just setting up all your new toys. Jeez Louise.
I'll give more game impressions next week, but it's taken me a lot of time to like re-download everything, as Steve can attest to.
I've done that a time or two.
Like I said, Mortal Kombat 11 looks fantastic on this because the blacks are black and it's not all blurry and washed out. The colors look fantastic. Metroid Dread is amazing on it, and like the first thing I did was just download all of the games that I really want to see on this screen. So I can tell you Vector Wars looks incredible.
So not to make this the Swoled podcast or anything, but does it fix the issue that I have with playing handheld games where the quality of the graphics just goes way downhill, like everything looks really blocky and pixelated, or does it just make everything look more vibrant because it's more colorful? Like, are we dealing with like more?
I have to deal with my child who's screaming.
All right.
So Steven? I can actually answer that question for you. I have watched videos online of side-by-side comparisons. There are absolutely no performance boosts whatsoever with this Switch. It's still going to downgrade it from 1080 to 720 when you drop down, and any games that had issues in handheld before, like Darksiders 2, for instance, you're going to have the same issue. It's still going to freeze at the same points.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like it's not even 720, it's like 480 that I'm playing at.
That depends on how the game is built. Some games do have dynamic resolutions that focus on frames per second over the resolution of the screen, and that's where you run into the issues.
Welcome back, buddy. All right, well, good to know. With that, let's take a hiatus here, because I think ours are going to be the shorter segments. Eugene, would you like to tell us about the games you've been playing this week?
Sure, yeah. I have been playing kind of the same games that I was playing last week, except for I have more to say about them. So,
we don't need... Are we going to have the Monkey Ball discussion? Is that what's going to happen?
We could talk about Monkey Ball. I think I'll leave that more to you.
God,
because
if I buy it before the end of the show, I'm killing both of you.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to leave the Monkey Ball discussion to you, because I'm sure I'm going to be jumping in on it, type of thing. But let's actually start with Pokemon Go, because it's Pokemon Go. The Halloween event is really cool, actually. I'm liking it a lot. I kind of over the Pokemon that are out during this event, but I always love that it's like, extra candy and, all that fun stuff. So that's cool. I will say that I haven't played it in the last 3 or 4 days just because I've been kind of burnt out, but I plan to get back definitely before the event because I want to get the the tasks done for it. So
I gotta get that game re-downloaded before something exciting comes out that I miss. There's gonna be a shiny that I'm gonna really want, and I'm not gonna get it,
Sure, yeah, right. So that's Pokemon Go. Not really much to say there. We talked about the event. That was cool. What else have I been playing? I guess let's talk about Skyward Sword, because after I finished Dread, I went back to Skyward Sword because I hadn't beaten that one yet. I had taken a really long break on that one. I'm still just finishing the first time through the desert, so I still have quite a bit to go. But yeah, it's still fun. I will say the reason why I wanted to talk about it though is because I played it for the first time with motion controls, and yeah, actually they're really good.
Good.
They feel as good or better than what I remember on the Wii. So I guess that's, you can't say anything better than that, right?
That's the gold standard, right? They feel as good or better than they felt on the only other system they've been on, right?
Exactly, yeah. I don't know that I would go back to motion controls because I got really used to using the stick, which I really do like with the game, actually. I really like. You can just whip that thing around like crazy. But yeah, no, just Skyward Sword is Skyward Sword. Okay, so let's talk about the game that I really want to talk about in Metroid Dread. Still no spoilers because I know a lot of people haven't quite finished it yet. A lot of people on the show probably haven't even played it yet. but it's so incredibly good. I cannot wait until everybody, or at least somebody, finishes the game so I can talk about that damn ending. My lord.
Well, if it's as short as most Metroid games are, could be done with it by this week, if not next. Not this week, but like next show, if not like the end of October, I would think. So.
I ended up taking my time with it. So I put my play clock ended at 14 hours, and I was at because it shows you like your item completion and all that stuff. I was at 70% item completion. I thought I was way more than 70%, but clearly I had some work to do. But it's good. There really isn't a whole lot of reason, quite honestly, to get that 100% because while the bosses are challenging, I don't feel like, I guess aside from more energy tanks, like more missiles, more power bombs, that's not really going to help you because, oh, spoilers, I guess there's power bombs. But because like the bosses don't really rely on that, and plus you're getting reloaded on all of that stuff so frequently if you're doing the parries.
It's really more about just kind of completing the game at 100%, I think, for like the purists out there.
Yeah, totally. But if you're into that, that's cool because one thing I will say, if you're going into this game fresh, there's a really cool feature in this game. It's an awesome quality of life feature on the map. I think you push Y and you can, when you like highlight an item or like a type of door, and it's really awesome when like you just upgraded your power beam to a new, whatever. You can highlight all of those doors, and it'll just show you on the map every single type of those doors. So it's like it makes it really awesome to find collectibles and things like that.
Oh, this is the room I didn't go to.
Be careful with that because there is a bug. It's patched. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's patched.
Good to know. I was like, I read about that.
It's you won't. If you have the latest, there was a game ending bug, but like 1% of people will ever happen to type of thing. But still, it's patched. Anyways, really, really, really enjoyed my time with that game. When you finish a game and then there's like a void. Because that's how I felt with that game. That's how I know it.
That was me in Hyrule Warriors. I felt bad finishing that one.
Right. But yeah, that's Metroid. I do want to talk about the bosses a little bit, not like in any detail or anything like that, but just like kind of overall how I felt about them. Because with any good, I feel, 2D game of this nature, like it's all about pattern recognition, right? And I feel like the Metroid, this game, to beat the bosses, the pattern recognition was just like because like every boss
Mega Man level pattern,
yeah, because every boss has like a tell, right? So like right before it's gonna do a like its move or whatever, it's gonna like tell you that it's gonna do that, but just like in a split second. So the first time going into almost any boss fight, I feel like I was struggling, if not dying, But then if I had to fight them again and I learned the patterns, like towards like the last boss fight, I must have fought that boss for a good hour, maybe 2 hours before I beat it. But by the time I ended up beating it, I almost perfected it, right? Because I knew every pattern at that point. I barely took a hit, and it's so rewarding to beat a boss or to like just progress in that game. And finishing that game was ultra rewarding for me. Not only because of the story, but also because it was challenging. So really great game. So far, my game of the year for sure. So yeah, I mean, I can't sing enough praises of this Metroid Dread. Nice. And that's all I got aside from Monkey Ball, but I'm sure we'll be talking about that soon.
Oh, we'll be talking about that soon, but not before we talk about Steve's life. Steve.
So that could not have been more perfect, because that brings me right into what I am here to talk about. Darksiders 3.
Oh God. You keep talking about Darksiders 3, but I need to talk about Sora afterwards because I totally forgot about Sora.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot.
Well, we need to have a discussion about that anyway. But,
yeah, let's have that conversation.
So let's talk Darksiders for a minute. I am the one on the show that likes Darksiders. I am happy to say that I finally, after like 10 years, have completed Darksiders 1. I have completed Darksiders 2. not on the Switch, but on the PS3 back when I had it for PS3. And I was given a review code for Darksiders 3. So I am here to talk about Darksiders 3. You, Eugene, were talking about the bosses in that game and how it's about patterns. It's about, pattern recognition, tells. That's exactly how Darksiders 3 plays. You drop into the game, and I have not beat this game, by the way. I'm still very early in the game. But you drop into the game, you're trying to find the 7 deadly sins, and the first thing you do is come up against this creature that's holding an amulet that you need. This creature wrecked my crap for the better part of an hour and a half. Guys, this is the training boss of the game, and I'm playing on normal difficulty, the one right above story difficulty, the second easiest difficulty in the game. But like you said, once you get the patterns, once you learn the tells, and once you see everything, by the time I finally beat that boss, I did it without getting hit once, or maybe I got hit once. But yeah, so cool. This game plays completely different from the other Darksiders games. Darksiders 1 plays very much like a traditional Zelda game, so picture Twilight Princess. Darksiders 2, I wouldn't really attribute it to a Zelda game, but I wouldn't exactly attribute it to an open world game either, somewhere in the middle. Darksiders 3 plays very much like a linear version of like a Dark Souls. Brutal difficulty. When you die, it takes you way further back than you would think it would. But again, once you learn how to beat these enemies, once you start upgrading your character, the game gets infinitely easier to play and easier to understand. I was telling Lucas when I started the game, I was really having a hard time with it because it didn't feel like the other two games that I was used to. And once it clicked the type of game I was playing, I almost had to switch my frame of mind from a Zelda frame of mind to a Monster Hunter frame of mind. It plays very much like that. Monster Hunter has that same kind of thing, and I know Lucas can attest to this, where it's all about, the monster's doing this, we do that. Yeah. It's the exact same kind of thing, and you have to come prepared for the battles. One of the improvements they made for this version is it's got two control schemes. It's got a Dark Souls style control scheme, which is probably how you would play it, or it's got a Darksiders control scheme, which it's more of a Zelda feel, and that's what I chose because I've already played 2 games in the series, so it makes sense. And it performs well. So if I recall, this game was built for the PS4 and the Xbox One, and this is a port down to the Switch, which is not quite as powerful as an Xbox One, but better than like a 360, right? The only complaint I have is the same complaint I had playing Darksiders 2 on PlayStation 3. The loading screens are jarring. It looks like an open world game, but much like something like Monster Hunter Generations. You walk through what would be a barrier. Generations actually has a loading screen that'll pop up when you go through a barrier. This game, you freeze, you see the loading circle on your character, and like then you move into the next area.
I don't like that at all.
But there are not as many of those as you would think.
Well, that's good.
And you're going to spend the bulk of your... You're going to notice them when you first go into the area, but there are so many fast travel points that once you've unlocked the fast travel point to that area, you're never really going to have to see it again.
It's such a weird thing to experience, though, in a game that's as modern as this one is,
It makes me appreciate the Nintendo's way of doing things where they hide their loading screens. A lot of people criticize that because they have so many, but it's a hidden loading screen. You don't realize it's a loading screen. So, like I say, I can't give a full review because I think I've beat 2 of the 7 deadly sins so far. But right now, I would probably have to give the game a 4. It is a 4 out of 5.
Out of 5.
It is, right. A 4 out of 5. It is that
4
good. I'm
out of
thoroughly
100.
enjoying it. So, that being said, there are a couple other games I've been playing. I bought Tetris Effect on Switch. Justin's not here to defend himself. He's doing himself a disservice having OLED Switch and not having Tetris Effect, but we've had that argument already, so there's that. Tetris Effect is amazing. Make sure you play it with headphones, though. It is a game that is made to be played with headphones, in a dark room if you can, get the full experience going. Really happy with my purchase there. And what else have I been playing? Lucas and I played Donkey Kong Country 1. That was a lot of fun. Excited to play Donkey Kong Country 2 with him.
Let me hype this one up for a minute and shameless plug my way in here, because Steve shameless plugged in my Let's Play, so let's cross the streams. I have a thing coming up in November called Monkey Month on my channel, which is Lucas Peace. Just search for it, you'll find it. And I've got Monkey Ball playthroughs and Donkey Kong Country playthroughs going out all month long. Steve and I sat down. This was not the plan. The plan was like, oh, we'll play a little bit and then we'll record and we'll play this game till we're done with it. We beat it in a night. In like 2.5 hours we played this thing. We never saved. So at one point we were ready to lose it all and risk it all in the mine carts. Like, it is an epic tale of love and loss, betrayal and camaraderie. Go watch it in November. Be a part of this, because it was freaking fun, man. It was.
Lucas saw a side of me that he's never actually seen.
Oh my God, Steve was so good. Like, okay, not to say Steve is bad at games, but I'm
not Lucas level good.
I'm used to being just a little bit better at the games. Like when we did Mario Maker, right? Like I was always just a little, but it was my level. But I was always just a little bit more.
Monster Hunter, he's usually a little bit better than me.
I usually do a little bit more of the healing and the, but Steve comes in with Donkey Kong and he just like, oh, I missed a barrel. Let me just spin jump backwards and blow open this secret here. It's like, oh my God, it was amazing to watch, Eugene. It was a marvel of human engineering. Like, he was like a robot.
I've got a borderline encyclopedic knowledge of the original Donkey Kong.
He is not exaggerating.
If there was a play timer in your life for the original Donkey Kong Country, about how many hours do you think that play timer in your heart would have?
Well, I play it yearly. Usually takes me roughly slightly less than 2 hours. And I put an obscene amount of time into it when I was younger with my family. So I'm probably 200-300 hours.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the one game. That's Eugene, not counting the others.
Eugene, I am telling you, I know you don't always, I don't even know if you're subscribed to my channel. You have to watch us play Donkey Kong.
Watch the first video, because by the end of...
the strangest thing you will ever see, and it is so hard to look away. Like, it is so
by
crazy.
the end of the first video, because his videos are usually about 10 to 12 minutes long on these segments, but he was already floored, and we're like level 2.
Here's the crazy thing. He doesn't collect all the bananas. So, like, I'm there going up and down the ropes, getting every banana and missing every secret. He's criticizing me for not getting the exclamation points, but he's just jumping across the ropes, missing bananas. Like,
yep.
Oh my God.
2 completely different play styles for the exact same game.
So, I looked like an absolute amateur by the end of it. It was ridiculous.
I'm proud. I'm proud.
That's pretty good.
So, and let me just check. I don't think I had anything else. That was really the one I was excited about, was Donkey Kong. I've been playing Mario Golf, Diablo 2, Monster Hunter. Yeah, nothing really else to talk about. Or sorry, Diablo 3, not 2.
Yes, I will take it away. Thank you, co-host. So I played 2 games this week, and one of those games was Donkey Kong Country. So
that was fun.
All I'm here to talk about is Monkey Ball, which, Eugene, you had brought up on the last show. And I had told you that I had it downloaded, but I had not started it yet. Well, I have since started it, and guess what? I like it a lot.
It's real good.
It is a series I have never played before. It was brand new to me. So even though you had told me what it was, going into it for the first time and moving the world and not the monkey was...
It's jarring, right?
Real jarring. I have tackled some tasks. It is satisfying. It is a puzzle game, an action game, and like a score attack timer kind of game all rolled into one. I will do a level for like 20 rounds at a time before I figure out what I actually have to do and am successful at the level. And when I figure it out, it is such a satisfying feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is just so good. It is what I think of, and I've said this too in many videos that I've recorded since then for this stuff, but it is what I think of as like Sega at their best, right? Sega at their best are simple games with simple controls that don't tack on a lot of gimmicks, but just expand upon like a simple concept to the utmost extreme. And that's exactly what this game is. Like it goes from roll the ball to the other side of the flat stage to there's a spinning tower and the gravity is making you move in the opposite direction and you have to bullet jump off of the tower into oh man, just ridiculously fun game. Like, I am absolutely hooked on this game. It may be in contention for my game of the year. Like,
it is a video game, right? Like it is. It is just like got it collectibles. It's got mini games. It's.
By the way, I've been looking down because I was redeeming eShop credit. I'm downloading it.
Oh, there you go.
Beautiful gameplay, like pretty colorful worlds, bubbly, enjoyable music to listen to. The characters are adorable. Playing as Ai and hearing him go "Ookie" every time he almost falls is just like the pinnacle of my life.
Have you done Sonic or any of the special characters yet?
Yeah, I've unlocked all of them. I'm working on unlocking everything now. Like it's easy to do too, right? You play a few stages, all of a sudden you have 10,000 coins, and it's like, just give me all those unlockables. You know?
Right.
But yeah, no, I've played as Sonic. My favorite is Ai. I think my second favorite is Yan Yan, the little girl monkey. She's got like a purple genie outfit that I used for DX mode, so now I'm really into that one too. But I just like I've done some party mode. My only gripe is that there's not an online component to party mode, because playing that with you guys would be a blast. Short of that, though, playing with computers has been really fun. I've played billiards. I've played baseball. I love the gliding target game.
That one's fun. That's one is fun.
I
remember that. The ball opens up.
Yeah.
It's the wings. Yeah. Super fun. There's achievements for all of these too. There's medals.
14 minutes.
There's medals you get for doing missions and stuff. So like, I just finished DX mode, which is Super Monkey Ball Deluxe, all the stages from that game. And I was super happy to find out that, because I never used the like cheaty slow down, you're having trouble, let's give you a Super Kong kind of thing. I got the medal for like a perfect clear in DX mode, because that was like the only requirement, was don't use the cheat in any level. I was like, yes, I 100% of it. Like, I am going to be playing this game, I think, for like years.
Well, there's a lot to do.
Trying to get every mission, every achievement.
Which monkey ball is this? Is this the first one and the second one? I
have done my homework on this.
Okay,
story
good.
mode.
I knew this. This is why I'm here.
Story mode is the story mode from Super Monkey Ball 2. So story mode has all of the levels from Super Monkey Ball 2. Then challenge mode, there's a challenge mode for 1 and a challenge mode for 2. Challenge mode for Super Monkey Ball 1 has all the Super Monkey Ball 1 levels. Challenge mode for 2 is basically just a rehash of the levels you've already played in story mode. Then there are optional unlockables for other modes you can play. One of those is the one that has Super Monkey Ball Deluxe, which I think was like a 3DS game or something. I don't know, because this is my first Monkey Ball game. But yeah, so it's got like all the classic levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, because I played it on the GameCube, so it was either Super Monkey Ball 1 or 2 that I would have played.
Yeah.
I'll be familiar with it.
I would recommend just start with story mode. It'll get plenty challenging. By the time you get to like the 5th world, the amusement park, you're going to be tearing your hair out. But every time you clear a stage,
have a lot.
It's so rewarding though, right?
Oh, it's so satisfying. It's like a rush of dopamine.
When you clear that ribbon, you're like, yes!
Well, I love that. We've seen it in Monster Hunter. We saw it in Mario Maker. You know, I've seen it in Darksiders. You've seen it in Metroid. It's that same thing. You do something difficult, it's awesome. Yeah,
it's so satisfying. So I love this game. I would be honored if everybody listening to this would join me in my Let's Play of that goes up in November too, because this game was so good it got me into solo Let's Playing, which says something about like I don't enjoy doing stuff by myself because it's really awkward to just sit
So
and
are
talk
we
to
gonna have like
myself,
3
but-
videos a week coming out on your
Oh,
channel?
brother. I've got 4 a week scheduled all of November.
Well, I think our Mario Maker one just concluded.
Yep. Yeah. No, I am. If you are subscribed to my channel in November, you're going to get some notifications. So have fun with that. But Eugene,
That's awesome.
I love this game so much. I wish we could play it together. Like that's all I have
It
to say.
it's so super good. Steve, I have not yet bought it on my Switch, but I'm thinking about it so hard because that's where I always want to play my games.
By the time you guys are done talking about Sora, mine will be done downloading.
Oh yeah, so let's go to the news of the day then, and I'm pretty sure the only one who's really even tried it is Eugene. Sora came out this week. So Eugene, you wanna
Everyone is here, just like this show.
You wanna chat about that and tell us how he plays and why he's your new main and all that stuff?
Before you get into this, I just have one thing to say. I booted up Smash Brothers last night to give Sora a try, and no joke, I must have had about 20 notifications, including I can't remember his name, but the Tekken character who came out a few months ago.
That's why I always hit X and just clear them all. It's like I don't care.
I'm always curious, like how much stuff did I miss since I last booted this game up?
Before Eugene goes into this, I will just say I have not even been able to find my copy of Smash Bros. It's no secret around the office that I am not that excited about Sora, right? So like I spent like the day he came out, I think he came out on the 18th. I spent like 5 minutes digging through some of my games to try to find Smash Bros. Couldn't find it and said, I don't really care that much anyway, so it's not a big deal. I'll probably end up playing as Sora in like 4 months. But Eugene, you've played as him now, so tell us what you think.
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I always love digging into a new character and seeing how it plays and feels. This one is no different. I really enjoy the way that Sora plays and feels. I think I've said this before. I don't really have a real, love for the Kingdom Hearts franchise. The only real one that I've put some time into is Chain of Memories on the Game Boy Advance, I want to say. And
that is correct. And then remade for the PS2.
Okay, but that one was really good. But again, that's really the only one that I put some time into for the most part. So I don't have a lot of love for Sora. But the way that this character plays is awesome. I don't know that we needed another character that does like, fire and ice and lightning or whatever. But whatever, like you got the Fiarga and the Blizzarga or whatever it's called. You got all those. Those are interesting.
All the Agas.
Mm-hmm. Those are interesting because it's always the same cycle. So you're always going to have your ice one after the fire one, and then after that one is going to be your lightning. So you kind of.
So is that like your neutral B projectile or something?
It's like the exact opposite of how what's his name? Dragon Quest Hero plays.
Exactly.
His whole thing was
it's
like
random.
Quick, make a selection from like 6 moves, and Sora's just
Sora's
like, okay,
pretty,
fire, ice,
pretty
thunder,
normal
fire, ice,
sort of character.
I'm sorry?
So Sora's a pretty normal playing character, like he's not super complicated.
Yeah, I would say so. There's not a whole lot to him. He is very floaty, and I think that's because I was reading an article. Apparently, he's an aerial character in the actual game, so like that's kind of his thing. So
yeah, he specializes in aerial attacks in the game. So they made him floaty in this game, so he would specialize in aerial attacks here too.
We kind of needed more floaty characters, right? I mean, other than Jigglypuff and Kirby, what do we really have for that?
Mewtwo's
I mean, he's from a Disney game. Wouldn't Ariel be the aerial character?
Oh God.
Oh
boy.
Waka.
It's cool though because with most characters, right, you jump and then you have maybe a couple of frames to hit your attack button before you land on the ground again. Mm-hmm. With Sora, I can hit sometimes 2, maybe 3 attacks on one jump, and then on the double jump, I can he kind of floats up even more. So it's really interesting that you actually do want to play a lot of your time in the air with this character, but My problem is I'm not really good with timing those type of attacks, you know. So like I'm the type of person who's like, okay, I'm gonna camp on the ground and I'm gonna charge up my A and I hope you get in front of it when I release, type of thing. So I've had to like change my playstyle a lot, but I'm enjoying it. I'm not gonna say like I'm an expert or anything, right? But I'm really enjoying learning how to play as this new character. It's fun. The one thing I will say is if you're worried about it feeling like a sword character, it does not feel like a sword character. Like, sure, Sora has a key, but it may as well just have a fist, you know? Like, it's just a really long, a slightly longer arm. But it's fun.
But isn't that what a sword really is?
Exactly. I do really, really, really like characters that have a reflect type move, and Sora has one of those, so I'm digging that. I like to coax my enemies into, you know, hitting me, and
it's kind of a counter, right? Kind of like I can't even think of a character
like
now.
the Cape Mario, probably.
Yeah, or like Little Mac, or you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like there's certain or Fire Emblem, like all the Fire Emblem characters, that down B kind of counter move that they've got. Yeah.
Let's see, and
I think it works.
Zelda and Fox and Falco.
Well, Fox is more of a reflect.
Yeah, they have reflectors, but this sounds like it's like, I think from what I've seen online, it's more of an actual counter.
Think, and I don't know 100%, but I think that it is a counter plus a reflect move. I don't know now. I got to go test it out.
Well, that's how Joker works when he's in like Persona mode. Like when he has Arsene out, he can reflect and counter, and that's really fun. So,
Yeah, but other than that, I'm gonna put more time into it. I think that Smash being like complete, it makes me a little sad. I want more characters, but what are you gonna do?
I really wish that in addition to what we got, we could have had like, you know, the Nintendo bundle that's just like Nintendo DLC. Because it feels like,
right.
I've soapboxed about this before, but it feels like there's so many third-party characters now that it almost doesn't even feel like a Nintendo fighting game anymore. It's like a video game fighting game, you know? And that's cool, but it would have been really fun to get some really wacky, out there, like Paper
Mr.
Mario.
Rossetti.
Waluigi, you know, like characters you would never think of to join the game. So
Tingle.
Yeah, exactly. No, it would have been fun, you know, for those kind of characters. Because
I want a Tingle amiibo now.
Maybe the next Smash Brothers they'll eschew all of the third-party characters and go all out with Nintendo. I would like to see that.
I would like to see that too, actually. It's funny how in the beginning when Snake and Sonic got revealed,
you're like, oh my god, the possibilities.
This is crazy, man. And now it's like, I don't even bat an eye when like Sora makes it in, because it's like, figured, you know.
Yeah, Sora's there, Steve's there.
I was pulling
Sephiroth.
for Waluigi at the end of the, you know, it's like, that's the direction that we've taken in this thing. So
I was still pulling for Crash.
Interesting. I mean, always
Spyro.
1,000 years Gino, forever and a day. Or
Cat
Dog.
Gino.
He's already the best character in Nick All-Star Brawl. Move him into.
Did you just say Cat Dog?
Oh yeah, move him into this game too. He's amazing in that game.
Ren and Stimpy play like ice climbers.
Okay.
Bob Hoskins.
I'm happy that it happened. I'm sad that it's over. Let's see what happens next, I guess, right? All right, and that will do it for Infendo Radio this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, there's probably about 616 more of them that you can download on your favorite podcast provider, so go check that out. We will be back next week with another one. Until then, bye-bye!
See you real soon.
Peace.
Adios.
Okay, I'm going to stop my recording. I'm going to go bring a drink to Melissa, and then I'll be right back to chat with you guys.
Fair enough.
Goodbye, live stream.
Good call, because I totally forgot about that. Hi, Twitch and YouTube and